right. I am live. Shalom. Welcome to Technically Torah. I'm Heath Hayes, and I have a Bible. Also a Sprite. Play the waiting game. See if anybody gets on. We shall see. One person, one like, batting 1,000. Who are you? Who are you? Number 2. Encouraging. What up, dude? What up? Who else we got? How does it look? How does it sound? I'm chilling in the truck right now. Finished eating. Feels like I got some chicken in my teeth back here. Ha! 2 out of 2. Scott Horton, shalom. 5 for 5. Nice. Oh, man. Number 3. Who are you? Oh, praise ya. Praise ya. Jaron Blakely, what is up, brother? All right, so I got the Bible, the old word, right? I got that going for me. We Southern Yankee shalom. So we went to Texas for Thanksgiving. Drove all the way back. Came back today. Got home. It was a good turkey day. We enjoyed it. Had a lot of great time with family. My family on Thanksgiving Day, and then the Friday spent it with my wife's sister and friends and stuff like that. So it was a cool thing. Came back today and immediately unloaded the truck, went straight to the store to get some things because I needed to work on the truck. I've been having issues just all around, just the things driving me off the wall. Had a PO304, a misfire, had a leaking fuel injector, leaking valve cover gaskets, changed all of those, got everything squared away to the correct parts. There's some stories on those, especially with the valve cover gaskets, mainly because my truck was manufactured in a transitionary period where they were switching parts, or switching designs and such. So yeah, I changed out the O2 sensors, both upstream and downstream O2 sensors on my truck, and wouldn't you know it, the freaking PO304 code went away. No more misfire. So now it feels like it's running really smooth. Also went ahead and changed the oil. But something interesting happened to me. And maybe some of you guys are automotively inclined. I know I am. But with it, ooh, goodness, that's gonna have to not happen. My wife just sent me a message. I wonder what she's trying to say. Oh, make sure to share to Patreon. Can you? Boom. Boom. Yep. Asked my wife to share it to Patreon because I'm already live streaming, already here. Which means I would have to shut this off. Anyways, I got to Walmart and I was waiting for my brother Jody to show up so that I could borrow these mamma jammas. Got to fix a hose on my RV. I got a water leak. So anyways, got those. We're good to go. And while I was waiting for them, I was sitting in the Walmart parking lot for like maybe 15 minutes, and right about minute 13, my truck just idles all the way down, shuts off. But that shouldn't happen. And then so I had like some sort of suspicion that, like, maybe it was the variable timing solenoids, the valve timing solenoids, because my truck, it's a dual overhead cam, so I have four solenoids per the four cams that I have, two overhead on one side, two overhead on the other side. But those timing solenoids read the oil pressure, and yeah, I'm wondering. So last week I poured just a few ounces of seafoam into the engine oil to see if it could get it, to clean up. Middle of building an 84 F-250 4x4, no chips, no computers, points. Hey, that's a dream right there, man. I hope it ends up exactly the way you want it. But anyways, I put some seafoam in the engine oil, thinking, yeah, this is a great idea. Go ahead and clean up. Maybe there's some sludge deposits, what have you. I've got 183,000 miles on the truck, and it's been solid the whole way. So it truly is a good truck. It's just like time for maintenance. So I had some maintenance issues. Changed out a fuel injector, all spark plugs, basic routine maintenance, right? Coils, all of that good stuff. But anyways, I was like, okay, well, maybe because I poured the seafoam in the oil, that jarred loose some Kermode Bear, shalom, bro. Jarred loose some sludge, and it got stuck maybe on one of the VCTs. That's the one of the solenoids, right? So I could assume maybe that was it. So I went ahead and changed the oil today, and then after I changed the oil, went ahead and changed out all of the O2 sensors upstream and downstream, both sides, bank 1 and bank 2. Got that squared away, and the freaking P0304 code completely went away whenever I changed out those upstream O2 sensors. Made me really happy about that, because I was jogging my mind. I was like, why do I have a freaking P0304? I have new fuel injectors, new spark plugs, new coils. There's no reason why I should be misfiring, especially on that one cylinder. So got all that squared away. Praise y'all. Now I'm hoping that since I changed the oil, I won't have any more of this idle, dropout, because it happened to me twice, and it's only happened today. So since I've done all of that work today, I'm hoping it's like, okay, yeah, we're good. We should be fine. It was just maybe some grime stuck on the VCT solenoids, and maybe we're good. I'm hoping that's the case. Yeah, O2 can throw a bad signal, but I'm also hoping that my fuel mileage gets better, because it's those upstream O2 sensors that gets that oxygen reading that tells you whether or not you need the upstream O2 sensors are instrumental in establishing the fuel to air ratio, working in conjunction with the mass airflow sensor. Anyways, we're not here to talk about my truck, even though I've just spoke about my truck for the last 10 minutes. Praise y'all for being here and hanging out. I truly appreciate it. Anyways, got all the way up to 8 people. Now we're back down to 5. All right. So I've got some changes, right? Praise the Most High. My brother and sister, they're going to be hopefully closing on a property. Hey, baby, life on our micro farm. That's my wife right there, y'all. And y'all probably know that. But anyways, hoping brother and sister, they'll be closing on their property in the next 2 weeks. At which point, certainly not trying to rush them or anything like that. But whenever they move into their new home, my wife and I, we will be moving into the place that they were renting. Praise the Father, because this will do a couple of things for me. Shalom, Patty. Love you, sister. But it'll do a couple of things for me. One, it gets us out of the RV. It provides us room to stretch our legs, right? So that's going to be a wonderful thing. And of course, I'll be able to break away. Then you can rent my RV. Bro, you can buy it. You can buy it. I will let you just come buy it. I'll sell it to you right now. If you want it, it's yours. I am going to lay a new flooring in it before you buy it, though. Make it look all really nice and everything. But, yeah. Just because I want to dress it up. See how much I can dress it up before I sell it. It'll look real nice, real pretty. Put in your resume with refuge. See what happens. Right on, dude. Okay. Tomato. What up, brother? Love you, man. Anyways, yeah, so having the opportunity to move on to that property will allow me the ability to fix up the camper we've been living in for a while and allow me to sell it, because when we purchased it, I paid cash for it. So it's been a tremendous blessing, but we've lived in it for 2.5, 3 years, right? So, get it back up to snuff. I've kept up the seals, kept up with, just everything that I possibly can on it. Now I just want to dress it up and sell it, and hopefully take that liquid money and, take a little bit of portion into it and put it into an investment for my family. Like to just kind of set it, forget it, let it ride for a while, and then the other portion, hopefully that will perpetuate some form of capability for me to build a house or something, right? So that's something that we desire tremendously. But anyways, it's a stepping game, so that's like looking way into the future. But having the opportunity to move into that rental property over there, where my brother is, that's going to be big for us. It's going to be tremendous. I'm actually going to have the opportunity to break away in the calm and the peace and start doing. Thanks, bro. Thanks. It's like it's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna happen, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to get excited until they close, because anything can happen in the closing process. So as long as they close, which we're praying for, and I hope everything is beneficial on their behalf, so that they can close and they can move into their property and everything be freaking phenomenal for them, because that will allow us the opportunity to take the next step in whatever chapter it is. Arkansas living the most dangerous tato never cooked. Why are you so ridiculous, dude? How you doing, brother? Miss you, man. Oh, dude. All right. Well, add it to my prayer list. Appreciate you. But yeah, it's just going to be a big step for us in general. And hopefully we'll be able to perpetuate good out of all of that. Um, and the other side of that is having a location to like break away and read the word, um, and read to you guys and teach and preach and share the good news of the gospel and really ideally worship, because I've been feeling a call on the Father that I need to be worshiping. On our way back up from Texas, we were listening to a song called "You Are Holy," and and a few other songs actually. You know, we were listening to Bryn Waddell and Rick Pino, and even some New Life Worship on the way. Just kind of had the CDs going because, you know, for probably a solid hour we have no signal through the drive. But it is what it is, I suppose. But we were just listening to some old CDs, and by old I mean like I had these CDs when I was in high school was when I made them, a few of them. Finally move without my influence. Just prayer. 2 of my 3 kids want to move with me. Hey man, I hope that's the case for you, brother. But anyways, we were driving on the way home, and I was singing, Lauren was singing, my kids were singing, and we were singing some pretty impactful songs, some songs that were like, you know, tremendously important to me, even throughout my upbringing and my coming to know and love the Father. So it was good. You know, some of the songs that, you know, it's like I could feel the Spirit move in the truck. But gosh, he's like, the Father is so worthy. He's so good, and he is worthy of our worship. He is worthy of glory and honor and esteem to be brought to him on a regular and continual basis. That, like, you know, I need to just do it. I need to be doing it. And, you know, there's a lot of the idea of like, you know, to whom much is given, much is required, right? It's super real, super true. Much is required of me. And there's been much that I have been freely given and freely afforded. And with that, I try to just as freely give. Freely give of my time, freely give of my effort, my knowledge and skills and capabilities to those who need it along the way. But at the same time, I need to be giving of my worship. You know, something that is one thing across the board that we were all created to do, is worship the Father. To worship the Father in spirit and in truth. You know, Scott Horton, don't make Palmetto OPSEC himself. Operational security, bro. Dano, what's up, dude? So anyways, I have an acoustic guitar that I can play, and I need to start singing, get my vocal cords back. Because like I could tell in the truck earlier that I'm singing better. man, you just got to open your voice, open your mouth, and just do it, right? But I'm singing better. I'm just not as fluent and efficient and effective with my vocal range as I used to be. That, and I do not have, like everything, it's reps and sets. Absolutely, 100%. So I don't have like the dexterity in my fingers that I used to. So I need to start doing, which is another reason why I'm excited about potentially getting into that house, is the ability to bring my guitar in and sit down and play, and even something that I've desired to do is teach my sons and even my daughter, like teach my daughter how to play piano and teach my sons how to play guitar, and have a place and an opportunity to have them sit down and play guitar, and or even learn guitar, and just freaking have, my oldest son, he's freaking as smart as a whip. He is so incredible. I'm so proud of that kid on so many levels, but he wants to spend all of his time playing video games. But when he doesn't spend his time playing video games, he's very creative. Like he's got an engineering mindset, but he oh my gosh, he's an impressive kid across the board. And he's displayed an interest in playing guitar. So I'd love to teach him that, because I could only imagine how good he could be starting at 9 years old. Where he is, well, he'll be 10 next month. But anyways, starting, 9, 10 years old, and freaking go from, if he starts January 1, 2024, could you imagine where he could be January 1, 2025, if he sits down and he practices every day and he learns a tangible skill in music and how to actually effectively conjugate chords and write lyrics and establish this creative muscle, right? I think it's important to get that going in my kids. Kids have to do the same. They just need extra encouragement. That's true. Had to reevaluate this week, drop some old habits and focus on the Father more. True that, man. For me specifically, I've been so focused on like for a while, it's just felt like my whole world has just been crashing down around me, and I'm just trying to keep it up, trying to keep everything, keep my truck running, because there have been issues after issues after issues after issues, and that's just with this truck. And then a brother blessed us with a brother and sister blessed my wife and I with another vehicle. We drove it for 3 days and the engine blew. Unfortunately, with the car market, the car is good in and of itself, but it would be more beneficial to replace the motor than to go find something else, right? Just the nature of the car market in and of itself. That's $8,500. So I don't have $8,500. I will eventually. As the Father, my mother-in-law, she's blessing us with her Mini, so that my wife, she'll be able to drive that around, and she'll be able to start getting her photography up and going again, and doing brand photography and all of that she's doing. So it's like we've got like this light at the end of a tunnel, but I've been so focused on things that's going on around me than reading and praying and worshiping and focusing on the Father. How much it's the classic Peter has the opportunity to walk on water, right? And you start focusing on the wave crashing around you and just the world and everything going on. That's what I felt like probably for the last 2 years at minimum. And I'm trying to get that back. I feel like there's a light at the end of this tunnel. Can't quite see it yet, but I feel like it's there. Yeah, I know I'm not alone, and I'm never gonna act like I am. Look for a rear end accident scrap with a good front. Got one for 600 with a motor in it. Yeah, even then those can have issues, but if I just get a new manned crate motor for that Navigator, there's a company that builds those motors, and it'll be basically $8,500 for the motor and installation and all of the other things go along with the motor, right? So that's basically that whole job, $8,500. But that'll give me a brand new motor, 0 miles on it, brand new components, all the things, and a 100,000 mile 7-year warranty. So to me, that's pretty big. Yeah, it's not terrible at all. That's everything included. So that's pulling the motor, taking off all components, valve timing solenoids, freaking spark plugs, coils, valve covers, AC compressor, alternator, throwing all of that onto the engine, and then dropping the engine in, new oil, new AC charge, like all of the things. That's all of it all together with 100,000 mile warranty and 7-year 100,000 mile warranty on the engine. Squares it away for a long time, and it's a good vehicle. So it to me, that just makes sense to go out and spend the same $8,500 on some vehicle that has 200,000 miles on it, and I have no clue the history. See the dilemma there? So that's where my mind is. Raincat, shalom. Yes, it's still a lot of money, man. I'm hoping that I'll be able to knock a good chunk of that out with my tax return whenever that happens, towards the beginning of the year. Yeah, so all of that, and just as soon as I can, like the idea of having more than one vehicle, because my truck has been our sole automobile for a good while now, and it's been a champ. It's been freaking strong. We did have a great trip to Texas. Got to see both sides of the family. Yeah, honey, I just spoke about that not too long ago. And even spoke about, on our way back up here, just the idea of, worshiping with my family. Bob, he was talking about it this morning in his Sunday morning live stream, as to how it's important that it's okay, baby. It's important that your kids see you praying. Your kids see you reading the word. Your kids hear you talking about it And in doing all of these things, your kids need to know and see mommy and daddy pursuing the Father. It's our obligation as parents to teach our kids what that looks like. And on many levels we've done a great job, and on many levels we've done a piss poor job. So I aim to fix that. My truck has been down since Sukkot. Found oil in the coolant on the way to our area. Well, dang it, man. Is the head gasket fully blown? Or can you do some of that? They have, what's it called? It's basically head gasket maker that you mix it in with the coolant, and you let that run for a while in the coolant, and it basically, where the leak is and anywhere where that gasket needs to be, that aluminum settles in, and voila, bye-bye leak, right? But they say that stuff is pretty dang good. You might at least give that a try before you go too far into pulling the heads and all of that. X calls me crazy because I follow Torah. Pray y'all enlightens her. Well, maybe he will, maybe he won't. That's definitely a worthy prayer. I pray that he does. You know, that's really all we can do is be salt and light, right? You know, if you spread the gospel, and when necessary use words, but your greatest your greatest witness to anybody is always going to be your consistency, because your consistency is your proof that you truly believe what you say you believe. Justin Riddle and Shalom. I have no idea how bad it is. Nobody's looked at it yet, and inside the engine is far beyond my ability. Ah, okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, there's only a few of us here in camp ability to go that deep. And even then, hey, we are live again. Apparently it dropped out for a moment. So we got 20 folks on here. How are you guys doing? I think that's why 2 of the kids want to move with me, because they feel something about what I'm saying that is truth that mommy isn't telling them. Well, man, that's a very real possibility. Can't say one way or another as to whether it is or not, but you know, you just keep sharing the truth, keep spreading the gospel. And kids in general, regardless of who you are, regardless of money, regardless of race, like, kids desire the presence of daddy, right? They need to know what that is. They need to know what a relationship with daddy looks like. And even more so, a relationship with the Most High. Breaking change, your children will only be discouraged from listening to you for a short period. That's true. That's absolutely true. Hey guys, give me a moment. Talk amongst yourselves. Give me a moment. You Q&A tonight? You got a possibly stupid one? Yes, absolutely. We can do Q&A. Just give me a moment. I gotta step out and use the bathroom real quick.
Hey everybody, this is Tactically Torah. No, I'm just kidding. Heath had a emergency. He had to go to the bathroom. Hi, it's me. It smells like gasoline in here. Gross. Ugh, babe, if you can hear me, it smells like gas in the truck. Anyways, shalom, guys. I'm inside putting away the things that we had packed up for our trip to Texas. And hello, hi Patty, hi Raincat. Karen, you're so funny, thank you. Let's see. So anyways, I'm inside. I'm listening to the live stream, but getting stuff unpacked and trying to make things shalom palmetto, make things functional inside the RV. So I know Heath was talking to you guys about some stuff, but yeah, he said he talked to y'all about Texas. We got to go see my sister and stay with her for several days, which was really nice. And we saw Heath's side of the family. And hey, you know what, babe, though? The truck is not turned off. So that's good. Beja. And yeah. I asked him, do you want me to go out there? And he was like, if you would. And I was like, okay. So here I am. Yeah. Let's see. We got shaloms. Who was it that was talking about? So Kermode Bear. Some advice I would give really to anybody and everybody. I want to be careful because I want to be biblically correct. So if I'm wrong, my husband can rebuke me when he comes outside. But, you know, there's this commonality, it's not a word, but maybe it is a word, among those who start diving into Torah and feast days and all of those things. And there's this common thing that happens, and I was absolutely one of those people. And that is being either a Torah terrorist or just having a lack of love. And there's, you start to see people in this light of being like, how could they not see this? They're not loving the Father. They're not keeping the commandments. They're not this. They're not that. And yes, we should absolutely be sharing the truth of the word, and what the Spirit tells you to say, you should say. We should guard against our flesh speaking and it not being the Spirit speaking. You know, being gracious with other people, having the mindset like of, how did you come to faith? Did you search out the faith? Or how did you come to know what you know? Well, number one, the Father draws us, right? And you more than likely were given time, and you more than likely searched it out yourself. So for some reason, we think that even though we were afforded those things, other people shouldn't be afforded those things. So when you're speaking to your wife or your children or your family, absolutely speak truth to them and ask the Father to give you the right words and the right manner to say it to them, because you can say the same thing in two different ways, and one way may hit their heart and make it past the wall, and the other one is going to throw another brick on that wall. And you can say the same words, it's just in the way that you do it. So having the gentleness and having that a meekness, a love, a humility, a grace for the other person is super important. It is such a just, when you start hearing people bashing other people, we need to check ourselves, you know? And I'm not saying it's not that the truth is not there in the words that they're saying. It's just we need to check our attitudes and the way that we say it. Now I know like the prophets were not always like, you know, spitting out honey out of their mouth. They were throwing down things. So I know, I'm sure that I'm wrong in some areas of this. There is a time to speak with firmness. But that's where we listen to the Holy Spirit. Like, is this one of those times where does this person need love, or does this person need, you know, like some hard truths kind of thing? How do you want me to speak this truth to them kind of thing? I know a bunch of comments came in, so I'm going to go read them really quick. Let's see. Justin, I don't know. No, I wasn't directing it at you, but let's see. Charles, you sent that to the media email, so I just know what you said on there. You need to quit being so hard on yourself. I wasn't there for the men's group thing, but you gotta just have grace for yourself. Pre-hit. Thanks, Garen. Hey now, hard truths are love too. It's true. Hard truths are love. But if you're telling them the hard truths like, hey, idiot, you're a effing pagan, that might not be the way to approach it. I'm not saying that maybe there's not room for that somewhere. I don't know. And I mean, just sometimes, at least for me, like, I'm not sure how I would have reacted if someone said that to me. There are people who absolutely probably need that kind of direct approach. So I'm just saying things, you know.
You make me proud.
Oh, thanks. But I'm gonna let Heath take back over. But it really just comes down to listening to the Spirit, listening to His direction for how you're supposed to speak to them. Because who am I to say what that person needs to hear? They may need to hear that. They may need to. The Holy Spirit is going to know what they need to hear. They need to hear the truth, number one. But let Him direct you on how you deliver the truth to them. So I'm going to let Heath take back over. Scott, most of us have been there. I'm going to let Heath take back over, but I do want to say, from my perspective, we by no means arrived. We are not perfect people. We have been since 2015 is when we gave up Christmas. So we've gone through a lot of years with our family now. And at first, it was not easy. And at first, it was just not. Okay, family's going to think you're crazy. The only thing that I would say that you can do is when you tell them why you're not doing it, you tell them you feel that Yah is leading you in the direction to not do it. You have read in the Word, you find evidence in the Word that is supporting that you not do it. And you just stay consistent. You stay loving towards them. It doesn't have to turn into a bash fest or anything like that. Stay consistent. Let them know what your conviction is about it, and don't waver back and forth. You know, it is so good now compared to 2015. There's been so much growth that my mother-in-law even sent me a picture asking me, would you wear this shirt for our family pictures? And we were absolutely able to have an open dialogue about whether or not I would wear this photo because of what was on the shirt, because it was a family photo we're doing later this year. And I let her know, no, I won't wear that. And she was so respectful. There was no hurt feelings. Like, it was just commonplace for us now. It's normal. We've been doing it for so long that it's normal. Lauren and Heath don't do Christmas. Like, we just don't do it, you know? So stick with it. Don't be discouraged. If the Father has called you not to do that, then you stick to your guns. I'm going to let Heath get back in the truck, guys. I will see you guys later. Okay, baby. It's not like gas in there, by the way.
Okay. Oh, that's probably the TV blaster.
Okay.
Yeah. When I worked at Peterbilt, every day I'd come home and she'd be like, "Oh, you smell like propane." I'm like, "You mean diesel fuel?" So yeah. All right. From Bible study, taking an interest in the Torah and the feast, and will not be doing. Nice. That's dope, dude. That's awesome. Way to be a witness. Punch me in the face and then give me a hug. I'm listening to everything you have to say. I'm kind of like that sometimes. I can resonate with that, Palmetto. Hey, sometimes Kermode Bear, the Father turns individuals over to their own sin. He will draw them. He will do everything he can to draw them close. However, it's still on the individual basis as to whether or not they will respond. We all have that beautiful thing called free will. We have that choice. Just what choice are we going to make, right? All right. Bear just uses a knife hand. I thought media was JA. Oops. Family thinks I'm nuts. What now? Okay. Yeah, Lauren answered that. Hey now. All right. So, who had the question? I will try to be less distracted. Who had the question? All right. Somebody had a question here. I know it. Justin Ridland. All right. Justin, are you still here, bro? Ask your question, man. TJ told me into. Wait, TJ told me you're into cosmology a bit. That's actually how this person found y'all. Cool. Justin, ask your question. Wait, TJ told you that I'm into cosmology a bit? It will be in 2 parts because it's long. Okay, 2 parts it is. Believe we should be living according to Torah. Jesus said, not one jot or tittle will pass from the law, Matthew chapter 5. Paul did a purification in Acts 21:26. Okay, so Acts 21:26. John X 21. And Saul, Shaul, took the men on the next day, and having been cleansed with them, went into the set-apart place to announce the completion of the days of separation until the offering should be presented for each one of them. Okay. Did Jesus replace the sacrificial system completely? Just the sin sacrifice? None of them above. All right, so real quick, let's get some context here on what's going on here in Acts, verse 21, or chapter 21. So do this, what we say to you. We have 4 men who have taken a vow. Take them to be cleansed with them and pay their expenses so that they shave their heads and shall know what they have been informed about you is not so, but that you yourself also walk orderly, keeping the Torah. But concerning the nations who believe, we have written and decided that they should keep themselves from what is offered to idols and blood and what is strangled and whoring. Then Shaul took the men on the next day, having been cleansed with them, went into the set-apart place to announce the completion of days of separation until the offering should be presented for each one of them. And when the 7 days were almost ended, the Yehudim from Asia, seeing him in the set-apart place, were stirring all the crowd, and they laid hands on him, crying out, Men of Israel, help! This is the man who is teaching all the men everywhere against the people and the Torah in this place. All right, okay. So there were men, right, who came. My family disappeared from Thanksgiving to New Year's. Hasn't changed in 10 years. Well, that's cool. JS Genesis Designs, how are you? Shaving of the head is at the end of a Nazirite vow, or is it at the beginning? It's actually at both. They took the vow. So the Nazirite vow, what you do is at the beginning, you shave the head to mark as a marker. It is an indicator. When you would see an individual with a shaved head, oh, they took a vow. And then they are not allowed to cut their hair for the extent until the vow is made complete, right? Or until they're set free from that vow. Whatever it is that they set out to accomplish in that vow, when it is accomplished, at the end of it, they're to shave their head again to mark the ending. So it is marking the beginning and the ending of the Nazirite vow. Numbers chapter 6. Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when a man or woman does separate by making a vow of a Nazirite to be separate to Yahweh, he separates himself from wine and strong drink. He drinks neither vinegar of wine, nor vinegar of strong drink. Neither does he drink any grape juice, nor eat grapes or raisins. All the days of his separation he does not eat whatever is made of the grapevine, from the seed to skin. All the days of the vow of his separation, a razor does not come upon his head until the days are completed for which he does separate himself. He is set apart. He shall let the locks of hair of his head grow long. All the days of his separation to Yahweh, he does not go near a dead body. He does not make himself unclean for his father, his mother, his brother or sister when they die, because his separation to Elohim is on his head. All the days of his separation he is set apart, and when anyone dies beside him, in an instant, suddenly he has defiled the head of his separation, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day he shaves it. On the 8th day he brings 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest to the door of the tent of appointment, and the priest shall prepare one as a sin offering and other as an ascending offering to make an atonement for him because he has sinned by reason of the dead body, and he shall set apart his head on that day and shall separate to Yahweh the days of his separation, and shall bring a male lamb a year old as a guilt offering. But the former days are not counted, because his separation was defiled. And this is the Torah of the Nazarite. When the days of his separation are completed, he is brought to the door of the tent of appointment, and he shall bring his offering to Yahweh, one male lamb, a year old, a perfect one. Yep, so he just brings the basic offering. In verse 18, the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tent of appointment, and shall take the hair from the head of his separation, and shall put it on the fire which is under the slaughtering of the peace offerings. And the priest shall take the boiled something. Pages are stuck together. Come on. There it is. Boiled shoulder of the ram and one unleavened cake from the basket and one unleavened thin cake, and put them on the hands of the Nazarite after he has shaved his hair of separation. Then the priest shall wave them as a wave offering before Yahweh. It is set apart for the priest, besides the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of the contribution. Afterwards the Nazarite shall drink wine. This is the Torah of the Nazarite who vows to Yahweh the offering of his separation, and besides that, whatever else his hand is able to provide according to the vow which he takes, he shall do according to the Torah of his separation. Then he speaks about how Aaron shall bless the people. So I guess we can't take a Nazarite vow since we have no priests. I mean, honestly, I don't see any reasoning why you can't take a Nazarite vow. What is the truth of the vow? First of all, what is the temple? Am I not a temple? Am I not the dwelling that the Father chooses to make his dwelling in? Are you not that same dwelling that the Father chooses to make his home in? Right? So if you make a vow unto Yah, you keep the vow. Drink of no alcohol. Take of nothing that is of the skin or of the seed of the grapevine or anything like that. They understood that once Yah put it on me to stop following paganism, I was going to waver in it. And covenant with Yah is ultimate commitment in everything he puts on your heart. It is commitment. It is true. So, here's the thing. Here's the picture. When Yeshua, when he breathed his last breath and he died on the cross, right? There was a great earthquake. The moment he died, there was a great earthquake. And the veil that separates the Holy of Holies, that veil, which is 3 feet thick, by the way, that veil was ripped from top to bottom in two. What that did was it provided the ability for all who would believe. Yeshua said, I go so that you may have the helper, right? The Spirit can now come and dwell in all mankind because I did what I did. Okay? So, because of that, Malachi chapter 2 is pretty clear. The priests were to become desolate. Desolate. What do you mean? Priest should guard knowledge, seek the Torah from his mouth, for he is a messenger of Yahweh of hosts, but you have turned away and caused many to stumble in the Torah. You have corrupted the covenant of Levi and said, what verse, what exactly are we referring to? This command is for you. If you do not hear, if you do not take it to heart, and give esteem to my name, said Yahweh of hosts, I shall send a curse upon you and shall curse your blessings. And indeed, you have cursed them because you do not take it to heart. See, I shall rebuke your seed and scatter your dung before your faces and the dung of your festivals, and you shall be taken away with it. You shall know that I have sent this command to you as being my covenant with Levi, said Yahweh of hosts. My covenant with him was life and peace, and I gave them to him to fear. And he feared me and stood in awe of my name, and the Torah of truth was in his mouth. And unrighteousness was not found on his lips, and he walked with me in peace and straightness, and turned many away from crookedness. For the lips of a priest should guard knowledge, and they seek the Torah from his mouth, and he is the messenger of Yahweh of hosts. All right, so our mediator. Clear, the priests were to become desolate. Oh, you're saying that Yeshua is our mediator? Yeah, he is our mediator. Did he not make one, and he had the remnant of the Spirit? And what is one alone? He seeks a seed of Elohim, so you shall guard your spirit, and let none act treacherously against the wife of his youth. For I hate divorce. So he's just talking about all of this stuff that the priests would allow the people to do. It's doctrines and dogmas of man, and the Father is rebuking them for it. He's like, I hate divorce, and you're freaking letting any man give a bill of divorcement to whomever they desire just because, whatever, the wife wouldn't sleep with them that one night, or you name the reasoning, right? The priests were doing a lot of nonsense, to say the least, man. But what it really all boils down to is, what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeshua came. He died. He was buried. And he resurrected. And he ascended to the Father, so that all who would believe in him would not perish. And he sent the Spirit that we might have an opportunity to be at one with the Father and operate in the Spirit according to the way that Yeshua operated in the Spirit and the way the prophets operated in the Spirit. So that the Spirit would not just rest on any one man, but would be open and rest in all mankind. That's what the Father desires, that we would all be endowed in the Spirit. That we would all have the Spirit. It's incredibly important. And it's truly beautiful. It's beneficial to all mankind. But there's what's called fruit of the Spirit: peace, love, kindness, joy in the Holy Spirit, self-control. Important, right? So these are fruits that an individual could see in you and determine, hey, there's something different about you. Oh, what's different is I have the Spirit of the Most High Living God. When I operate in that Spirit on a regular basis. So we operate in the Spirit. But we also worship in truth. We keep and obey the commands of the Most High Living God. Yeshua said, if you love me, obey my commands. Okay, it's just basic instruction, right? It's the old Baptist acronym. Oh, what do they call the Bible? It's basic instructions before leaving earth. Well, if it's basic instructions before leaving earth, we probably ought not nix the entire portion that provides us the context for those basic instructions, which is the Torah. It was not passed away. None of it was done away with. It is truth. It is the truth of the Most High. It is His word that we are to live and love and operate in, that we love His word. Okay? Let's see. In my opinion, that was basically telling them they're done. Yeshua was taking over as the priest and the mediator, ripping the veil and allowing us to be close to the Father. Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's saying, I'm not going to put up with y'all's nonsense anymore. You have led my people astray, is what he's saying. You're letting my people do things that they should not be doing. You're allowing them. You're putting my stamp of approval on shit that I do not desire my people to do. Things that I hate. And because of that, what happened? The people were scattered amongst Babylon. We are to be set apart. Interesting, the temple is called the set apart place. Right, we are to be set apart. What do you think it is that makes us peculiar? It is operation in spirit and in truth. It's the worship. It's the combining of the two together. What makes you different? There's something different about you. You know, you don't keep Christmas and you don't keep Easter, but I really can't knock you for it because I know you love the Father. It's so strange. Think about that, right? You know? And we should not, you know, what? Did that do away with sacrifices, or will there be sacrifices in the future at a future temple? Okay, so there is no altar to do sacrifices, okay? So let that be said first and foremost. There will, however, I would state to be the near future. I would call it the near future. There will be an altar that is dedicated. That's the whole reason why the Jews have been searching for a perfect red bull to sacrifice, because the purpose of the red bull is to red heifer, I think is what it is. But anyways, the purpose of the red cow, there we go, is to dedicate the altar. It is a heifer, thank you. The purpose of the red heifer is to dedicate the altar to the Father, right? At which point, Scripture dictates that there will be 1,290 mornings and evenings. What those morning and evenings were referring to in the book of Revelation is all the way back in Torah. There was a morning and an evening sacrifice done every single day, and they were called the mornings and evenings. Okay? So those morning and evenings will be perpetuated here on earth once again when there is an altar for it. As well as all of the other sacrifices that will be perpetuated on the earth whenever Yeshua establishes his millennial reign. But that's not exactly this context of this subject. Yeshua did, however, do away, for the way I see it, a sin offering, because the spotless lamb was led to the slaughter. He died once for all. You know, basically makes it to where we don't need the sin offering and the Azazel goat and all of that. It's truly a beautiful picture. And quite frankly, it's something that we should probably study on more. And it's also a subject that Yeshua himself, he will sort out. But suffice to say, nobody knows who the Levitical priesthood is, or if there even is one anymore. I know the Father, he is set aside. The Levites, in theory, will be reinstated at the millennium. Yes. I'm not the most. So here's the thing. Here's something that's so incredibly weird is even when I was a kid, I had this infatuation with the Levites. And I always felt like I had this, and this is just me, but I always felt like I had this, not a calling maybe, I don't know, but it's like this feeling deep down. Very much so how I've even when I was a kid and I didn't even understand, I just felt like I knew the end of the world was going to be, I was going to see the end of the world. I still feel that way. And the same way that I felt that is the same way that I feel that I'm a Levite. That the Father has chosen me to be a Levite, to preach and teach the word of the Father, and be a skilled worshiper, right? These things are incredibly important. But the Father has placed that on me. Daniel 9 is completely misunderstood in mainstream. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at it. And I got to cut this short because I got to go spend some time with my wife. You said Daniel 9. Yeah, we need to do a reading on Daniel 9. Of course, whenever I get back to the Read the Bible in a Year, we will finish that. The first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, boy, man, whew, of the seed of the Medes, who was set up as a sovereign over the reign of the Kasdim. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, observed from the scriptures the number of the years according to the word of Yahweh given to Jeremiah the prophet, for the completion of the wastes of Jerusalem would be 70 years. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about the 70 years and then the 69th year, or the actual 70th year being split off from the 69 years and all of that. Let's see. "70 weeks are decreed for your people and for your set-apart city to put an end to the transgression. After 62 weeks, Messiah shall be cut off and have not. And the people of the coming prince shall destroy the city and the set-apart place, and the end of it is with a flood, and wastes are decreed in fighting until the end. He shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, and in the middle of the week he shall put an end to the slaughtering and meal offering. And on the wing of abominations he shall lay waste, even until the complete end. That which is decreed is poured out on the one who lays waste. Yeah, we should dive into that. I need to dive into that. I consider all the preachers and pastors in Israel as Levites. That isn't me. That doesn't mean I don't witness from time to time, but I'm not called to call the Gentiles. And at least you know that, Palmetto. See, because we all have a specific calling. We all have a task, that the Most High has placed on us. As for me, I know I've had the infatuation with the idea that I could possibly be or hold the identification of a Levite. So would I be one? Maybe not. I'll just let that be up to the discretion of the Most High. And in the meantime, I need to be about the Father's business. So that's really what it all boils down to. Operating in the office of the Spirit, where some preaching, some teaching, some prophesying. First for the children of Israel, second for Judah. All right, so I just don't get into the whole Messiah ben Joseph, Messiah ben David stuff. I think all of that is just no. It's not a Messiah. Joseph was not a Messiah. Did he operate in the Spirit? Yes. He was not a Messiah. David was not a Messiah. Yeshua is the only Messiah. There is only one. There is only one. Joseph was not the son of the Most High Living God. David was not the son of the Most High Living God. Only Yeshua or Yehoshua, whatever dialect you want to use. Jesus, the God, the son of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Only he is Messiah. Two sticks becoming one. Okay, yeah, the two sticks becoming one. What are the two sticks? It's not Messiah ben Joseph. It's not Messiah ben David. Those are not two sticks. Come on. Two sticks. If you remain diligent and faithful, then Yahweh will use you in incredible ways regardless of tribe status. That's actually it. You're exactly right, 12C. And I appreciate you, dude. Ephraim and Judah. Exactly. The tribe of Judah. It's bringing what that is. The father told Isaac that Manasseh, when he crossed his hands over, Manasseh will be a great nation. He truly will be. But Ephraim will be a great many nations. A great many. Who do you think Ephraim is, man? They just separated the prophecies, and that's how they did it. Maybe, man. I mean, that's your guess is as good as mine. That's really not a bad guess. Be careful out there. Even when you know Yeshua is Messiah and you obey the Torah, you can still fall into false teachings. Exactly. False teachings are out there. So I don't subscribe to Messiah ben anything. If it's not Yeshua, it's not Messiah. David knew he was not the Messiah. Now, Ben is like son of, right? So there is the idea, Yeshua, Jesus, son of David, as he is frequently called. He is the son of David in his lineage, right? He is truly the son of the Most High. I raise my eyebrow and say that's interesting every time anyone speculates on anything that isn't clearly spelled out in the word, right? Right? So do I, man. Messiah is anointed. Okay, so I've been anointed. I'm not a Messiah. The word Messiah holds a specific connotation. The servant and Messiah, the warrior king. So Yeshua, he did come as a suffering servant. They thought there would be two. Yeah, they did think that there would be two. They didn't realize that the two was actually going to be one coming twice, right? It's interesting. They do think that. Yeah, they do. Now I'm not going to argue. It's just the idea just isn't there. It's mixing context is what it is. It's stuff that doesn't mesh well. So you have a bunch of people trying to mix ideas together from one to another without actually establishing context in the word. I may be wrong. My understanding is that I am genetically a gentle sojourner who is redeemed and bound to Israel. Hey, there's nothing wrong with the way that sounds. Israel, they were a sojourning people. Messianic Jews also typically take on some Jewish traditions that aren't biblical. Exactly right, dude. You jump out of Christianity, which is one ditch, and then you jump all the way over into the far other ditch. And Yeshua says, narrow is the way and few will find it. It's the marriage of the two. It's the covenant of Torah with that being married to the operation in the Spirit. You got a whole lot of Spirit over here and a whole lot of law over here. The Father desires the marriage of the two. True worshipers will worship Him as such, and worship in spirit and in truth. That's all there is to it, man. Exactly, one coming twice. She's the one that introduced me to the concept of keeping Torah. Wow, praise Yah, man. All right, anyways, guys, I got to get 4:30 is going to come pretty quick in the morning. So I'm going to let you all go. I love you. Bless you. Thank you for being here. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you so feel led, yeah, I'm trying to raise money for a worship team, for worship equipment in general. And I would like it to, benefit my local community, basically, my fellowship and all of that. But more importantly, I'd like it to, great conversation. I would like it to perpetuate the word and worship. There's been a whole lot of really good, solid worshipers throughout the past, but the time is getting near, and I feel like it's time to prepare the way. So, anyways, guys, bless you. I'll leave you with that, and shalom. Can I post the link for the fundraiser? Maybe. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. I don't know. I don't know how I can actually comment. So I'll put it in the description of this video right now, right after I exit out of the video, guys. Okay? Shalom.